Good morning, everyone. It's 16th January 2017, and this is another episode of ProAMT Traders Digest. Let me go through the disclaimer first. Trading in stocks derivatives involves substantial risk of loss and not suitable for all investors. Past or simulated performance is not a guarantee of future results. All systems, indicators, strategies shown here are for education purpose only. All levels discussed here are for understanding the study and not a recommendation to trade. Please consult your personal financial advisor before making any investment or trade decision based on anything that is discussed here. We will not be responsible for any resulting profits or losses. So let us first see what Nifty and Bank Nifty did in the previous week. This is a micro composite chart of Nifty futures, and if we can see, I have extended this volume profile till last Friday because we are still within that broader range, and there is a minor balance developing here. So on the volume, there is a high volume node here, and it has just closed just at the high volume node. Now, let us see what there is a rare phenomenon which has happened. There is no balance in this zone, and if you see, we didn't have any micro composite here. There is no area of acceptance here in this zone, and see how this broke out of this micro balance, kept on rallying, enters this. There is a minor balance of 11th November. It enters there and goes sideways. The market did not take much time during the 11th November trading session. It didn't create enough value, and that's the reason it got stuck there. Now it has built up value, and when it leaves this value, we'll draw a micro composite into this zone. Till then, we'll work with the older references. So in this case, the important level to watch here is 8413 kind of zone to check what it does. Does it keep revolving around that for a day or two more? Does it want to break out above 84656 zone, or does it want to break down from the 8383 zone? Because on Friday also it took support at 8390, and the previous on Friday only there is a low at 8388.20, and the previous low is also in that zone. So this 838485, so basically 5 points here and there would be a very important level for any short-term trend change. The monthly VWAP is rising and it's now trading. The monthly VWAP is above even the November VWAP. The monthly VWAP is at 8289. Now let's see what Bank Nifty did in the last week. So a trending move in one day and then creating a balance higher. Now almost similar to Nifty, but in this case 11th November trading is much higher. It has still not entered that range. And here there is the micro balance from the past. It's way too far where it is trying to develop value within. So we need to see what it does into this zone of 18860 is the level for a short term reversal, maybe. Because there is a lot of value here. So what we'll do is, if it leaves this value, if it comes back to 18860, we'll plot this as a micro composite and work with the fresh values. The fresh values would be this micro composite VL, and this VH will actually flip, and this VH will become a VL of this balance, and this would become a VH of this balance. Visually, if you look, you can see that. So once it leaves this zone, we'll plot this as a micro composite. As of now, we'll keep a watch at 18860 level to see whether it wants to reverse from here or not. Now let's get back to the Friday trading. Let me clear this up. And on Friday, open drive down, quite emotional selling here, breaks down, and the B period tries to go back up, but finally pushes through the previous day range as well as the point of control, tests the fairest price. C period breaks through the value area but is not able to break through the previous day's range, and D period inside bar. E period tries to break above the inside bar but is not able to take the C period high. When this F period took out the C period high and then failed, it was quite evident that till the low is protected, the objective of the option will be to break past this high, because the auction is trying to find a fair value. It will try to push down because it is in a narrow range. So the chances of pushing down more increased when this was like forming lower lows, breaking the lows by a few ticks. So finally pushed down in the K period, did not get anything if all supply was absorbed, and that is visible from the volume dropping, and then from the volume increasing, so becomes a stopping volume kind of thing. This is not exactly a stopping volume on 30 minutes because it's not the range is not that much, but range contraction and going with higher volume is also a sign that there is no supply left. And then finally L period pushes above the high of K period with a no demand, and finally a spike up with huge volume in the M period, closing above the developing value area high. So overall bullish close in terms of a weekly close, but a neutral close on a daily close. Now let's see what it did on the 1 minute chart. So very symmetrical move down, gap up open, drives down, creates a micro balance, rejects, creates a micro balance, rejects, keeps on making lower highs and lower lows. So a very symmetrical move within a channel. If we draw a channel, this would be like a channeled move. Coming down, creating a balance in the push down to the lows, and then finally making a first higher low and going sideways. Most part of the day traded in a very narrow range with buyers gaining momentum. At every dip, as soon as they see sellers, they were just stepping in, and after 130, when it tried to push to the VWAP, it got sold off heavily, but again at the lows the momentum of the selling dropped, and finally it was able to create this thrust up with a huge buying. So if you see, this is a bullish flag again, just on 1 minute, doesn't matter much for intraday today, but just in case somebody was trading this, so like goes up and again comes back. So this, if this was happening somewhere here, this dip into the VWAP would be a buy again. On the 3 minutes, these volume bars are on 3 minutes. We see a lot of no supply bars coming in as we make the lows. So not enough thrust at the lows, but no supply is confirmed with stopping volume when it made the low in the late afternoon session. On the 15 minutes, you can see sellers getting stuck at the lows. Again, the sellers getting stuck at the right at the lows, and buyers just stepping in few ticks above that. Here, the same phenomena continues. Buyers getting stuck. Buyers just running to buy, thinking that this will just break out, and getting stuck, and the auction finding its way down to seek more buyers. Now let's have a look at the Renko. So again, the same look, we have a quite symmetrical move down. It goes in a zigzag, fall, retrace back, impulse down, try to retrace back, impulse down, try to retrace back, impulse down, try to retrace back, and impulse down. So a very clean move on the Renko, and finally finds buyers in this lows. Again, if you can see, the same sort of formation on the Renko, comes back, breaks through this zipper, but instantly pulls back in, and the sellers which had come are absorbed, and finally a buying thrust comes in above this zipper. So the volume based value almost developing within just almost equal to the previous day's value, not much change there. So the volume point of control also almost centered and aligned with the previous day, just a few points higher, pointing out that the auction is trying to seek acceptance higher. Now let's see what is the likely scenario for today. So we'll keep the first scenario as a bullish one, as it has closed like right at the top of the range of this week. So in case it opens gap up from the close but into this HVN of 8440, then the expectation is that it opens, tries to push up and fails, comes back below 8440, and then continues its move up towards 8465. If it's not able to find acceptance above 8440, then push back down into this fairest price and then decide where it wants to go from this 8405 zone. Suppose if it pushes back up into the 8420 kind of zone and fails, then expect it to push down and this time break through the lows, test 8480. If it finds something there, then stay there and rotate, and otherwise continue its move down towards 8370 and 60. I was expecting that it pushes into this 8475 kind of zone, but it's not doing. Maybe if today it finds acceptance lower, then it might do that, and we'll need to decide there, because there is a nice, if you can see, there is a nice balance zone here. So this balance zone is not visited, so expect it to be visited, and then we'll decide whether it wants to push toward this 8348 or not. Now, on the other hand, let's see the second scenario. Second scenario is again it opens somewhere into this HVN and directly pushes down, tries to push back up into 8420, fails and starts going down. Now that is almost similar to the scenario that we have if in case in the first scenario it gets rejected on the higher side. Now on the upper side, this might come to 8420 and start its move up and push through the highs and go towards 8465. In case it opens into this range, into the fairest price, then we need to see, then we'll pick up the hypos from where, if you see this is why I draw this pullbacks, is that suppose if it's opening somewhere other than that we think, then we'll carry on with the hypos from that point. So in this case, it tests back up, fails, then we think that it will go down. If it pushes through this, tests back this, then it might go up. So the reason for drawing this hypothesis is to find those demand and supply levels and visualize where the auction can travel throughout the day. Now let's have a look at Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty again open within range, was not able to push through the highs, open rejection reverse, it looked higher and then failed, pushed down into the point of control, and B period similarly like Nifty covers the entire value area and reaches the previous day's low but not able to break it. Finally C periods breaks the low but pushes back in. D period opens right at the edge of the previous day low and then pushes back in. After the D period crossed the C period high, E period came down, checked that there is no consensus. In this course, it has repaired this anomaly. The anomaly of the day before has been repaired, and now even this is slightly repaired. So only the lower anomalies are left. And also the previous day's balance zone, the point of control was an anomaly, a very prominent point of control, that is also repaired. Finally, it starts pushing up, starts compressing just above the point of control, and K period breakdown checks the fairest price of previous day. So again, a clean repair of this anomaly by revisiting it again and again, and spikes in the M period, spikes in the last half an hour to close near the highs of the day. And the close is very extremely bullish on the weekly candle, and also on the daily the close is bullish, though it is within the range, but it is above the open and it has left the lower area completely. Let's see on the 1 minute chart. Almost similar like Nifty, a symmetric move down, finds no supply till it forms a micro balance, then again pushes back down, no supply, and finally pushes through that balance with her stopping volume. Buyers jumping in to buy in this dip, and instantly it creates a channel move up, goes into balance, a false breakdown of that balance, does not get any supply. If you see, the volume has dropped completely, and finally pushes through the VWAP to create higher balance and keeps on going up. Now again, a very good channel move. If you can see a broader channel, overall broader channel here. So we'll need to see if it follows this channel with this median has been traded, and if you see there was a division here, a bit of a division, so there are like two parts of this channel at play, and today we'll have to keep a watch what it does when it pushes past or below this channel. Now let's look at the 15 minutes. Should be almost similar, always the case. Sellers getting stuck at the lows and no buying into this zone, but finally buyers step in when it enters this range. So if you can see, this is a broader range that was established. So a nice consolidation zone here. Oops. A nice consolidation zone, breaks up and falls back in. Again, this breakdown gets bought into, because if you remember from day before, we were looking at this level that it might want to protect this. And finally, every pushback up was finding like the buyers run to buy, and then first they are screwed and they are taken out, and finally then again it finds acceptance higher. See here, this breakdown would have taken out all the buyers in this zone and finally pushes up. We just need minor buying to push back when there is no supply. Now let's have a look at the Renko. Similar. Now a similar move like Nifty, symmetric move down. A bit of a confusion in the opening swing. The moment it breaks the opening swing, it tries to push back in, but keeps on going down. Again another push into the day mid, fails, and impulse down, retrace, impulse down, retrace, impulse down. Got a bit choppy and messy here, but overall till this balance happened, it was trending down. Finally a balance and a very nice zipper. When these sort of zippers are formed, this impulse needs to carry from here. If it creates a zipper again into this, then the chances are high that the low is done and it might want to explore higher prices. Goes to the day mid, rejects, but again now this impulse, till it does not pull back at least 50%, we need to consider another impulse up, and that happens. Again comes into the mid, pushes back up. For a long time, like 11:30 to almost like 12:30 hour of trading range, near and coming back near the day mid, and finally pushing back up, pushed back into the morning balance, got rejected. And if you see, it got rejected, and where did it come? A clean impulsive move down into the day mid. When it comes into the day mid, again it's a buying opportunity when there is a lot of positive order flow building up, and then finally a zigzag. This is not so clean, but making higher rise, and a channeled move. So we had a channeled move in two phases. Let's draw that. One is this, and then if you see, this is also almost the part of that channel if we draw a parallel line. So here this is another channel, breaks out, and then let's see what it does in the midline. There is this channel which was rejecting, so it has just closed near that. So similar to what we saw on the 1 minute. Now we can then again divide it into different segments. Now let's see what we can expect today. So in case it opens above the range, then try to push back into the range, fail, and continue its move up. I'm expecting that the sooner it goes above 19,000, at least we can see what's there. Suppose if it goes above 19,000, around 19,000 to 19,050 somewhere, rejects and comes back down into the first acceptance zone. We want it to come down into this to check for buyers. So comes down into this zone just above like 18,900, and if it finds buyers here, then push back up in a symmetrical move, go and again break the highs. Otherwise, if it gets accepted here, then try to push back up and fail, slow and grinding move down into this balance. There is another lower balance here, so this is almost the fairest price of that balance. So come down there and rotate into that zone. In case if it pushes through this, then might go and break the lows. So that is the scenario. Like now this gets like you must be wondering why I'm drawing these lines. So this is the first case that it is opening in the higher quadrant than what it can do. Now the second scenario is it opens within the range at the highest traded volume and then tries to push back up, fails, and comes down into the day mid of previous day, finds buyers and again pushes back in a symmetrical move and tries to test the highs. If that doesn't happen, then fail from here, push through this, test back up, and then go and break the low. So those are the two scenarios in case it opens gap up or it opens within the range. Now, while we are here, let's also have a look at the weekly projected levels. For both Nifty and Bank Nifty. And also while we see that, we'll be able to see what is happening in this chart. So in this chart, if you can see, there is this zone which is a balance, and we have the point of control somewhere here, and then there is this zone which is a balance, and the point of control almost the same. So looking at this chart, the lower balance is either we can consider this much and consider this as the fairest price, so around 8190, 8200 kind of zone, and then there we can consider this as the extreme lower balance with the point of control just below the value area low of this balance. So when you draw with the software, this would be almost the similar levels you will get on the value. Now here I am expecting that if it is not able to push through this 8529, which is the weekly projected high, and if it breaks through 8307, then we'll be, as it is just below that, we'll be entering into the lower balance. Then we can check the 8200 kind of zone. Till it doesn't do that, the chances are it rotates with a wider range into this, or it just breaks through this. So the chances are open in that case. Let's have a look at the Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty is trying to enter this higher balance. If you can see, there is a balance here, this, and we consider this with the fairest price being here. So almost the projected high of a 19320 would be the fairest price of the upper balance, And as of now, let's extend this and see where it has closed. So it is still like not entered the higher value. And on the lower side, we again have almost two balances. So one balance high is here and the low is here, with the midpoint being somewhere here. So last week, it the moment it entered the value, it pushed through this. And then there is a lower balance with the VH being the VAL of the previous balance. So the VH of this lower balance is the VL of previous balance, and then the VL of this balance here, and the point of control here. So it's very easy to divide this into segments. That's how the markets function. Auction keeps on going lower to seek buyers, and then now it's on its way up to seek the sellers. So basically, any push into this would be checking the fairest price of the higher value, and then if it can pull the value up, then might stay there and otherwise fall back down. The projected high is 19,320 and the projected low being 18,620. So I think that's all for it for today, and best of luck for the coming week, and we'll keep a watch. Maybe some news flow coming in from Britain, maybe regarding Brexit, and apart from that, not much of economic data around the corner. But it's a trading holiday in US maybe today, because it's President's Day, and yes, it's a trading holiday, and so we'll not be much influenced by the US markets today, the overnight futures today, and maybe we'll get this might move with a bit of volatility. So we'll have to keep a close watch and not get into wrong positions. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you up tomorrow.